Hello everyone, thank you so much for stopping by to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jess and I'm a knitter who sometimes spins and crochets, and I live in Southwest Florida. This episode is a wrap up from my past week in New Jersey and upstate New York, attending the various fiber events going on surrounding the New York State Sheep and Wool Festival and including the festival. So that's what I'm going to show you here, is a bit of footage from that event and also my purchases. So I find that recording at the event, I just capture some really weird things. Normally I'm there by myself, which is good for some of the time, but I've always spent the majority of the time at the events completely by myself, which isn't as fun. There's no one to really share things with, get opinions of, and to help rein me in on what my spending is. I do actually, I think I probably recorded more of just general things around because I had nothing else to do or anyone to talk to. This year though, I got to spend it with friends. I flew into New Jersey and then rode with my friends up to the Hudson River Valley where we had lunch, and then went to IndieUntangled for our 2 o'clock time slot. So I'll start with things there, because that's primarily where I purchased most things for the entire weekend. It's not the most money I spent, but it's where I purchased the most. But with that, I gave myself a very condensed list of items that I was allowing myself to purchase for, because they were either supplemental items for projects I already have in mind that I thought I'll look for the additional item to use in there, or upcoming project, or knitting tools, hand salves, stickers, stitch markers, little things like that. If I found them and really thought I would use them, I wanted to take them home. So it was very nice and relaxed at Indie, and it was a beautiful day, beautiful weather, amazing. The whole weekend, the weather was just outstanding. The first place I looked when we went into the first barn, I believe it was at Herd Supply Company, because what caught my eyes, they had soaps, I wanted some hand soaps, but they had hand salves, so hand balms, which I really, really wanted to get. I had just used up the last of my Woolen & Co. Hand salve that lasted me maybe 3 years, and I really found that I love the lanolin rich, more runny, kind of greasy ones. They're not greasy once they're on, but the ones that go really far, a little bit goes a long way, and they last. I find that some of the ones that are more in stick form, solid form, are too hard for me to really get them onto my hands, and it doesn't feel like it lasts very long. Anyway, that's that's what I found. It's sitting back here because I just opened it a minute ago, and it's just come out of my luggage. I literally just got home last night. So I opened it, and because it's kind of runny, it's gooey all over. Let me grab it. They had 2 hand salves. One was much cheaper and just smelled like that woolly wool smell. So that sheepy smell, like that really sheepy skein of yarn that you get. This one does as well, but it has some other essential oils and other things in it. You can see it's kind of oozing out the side. So I tried some of that, and it's fantastic. This pot will probably last me, what is it? It's 1.9 ounces. This will probably last me several years. So even though it was on the pricey side, I think it's going to be a good investment. I also found that, I don't know about anybody else who was up there, but like chapped lips. Constantly need lip balm. Chapped lips. I'll put some of that on my hands over here. All right, so that was my first purchase. And then I think my next one was stopping at Newburgh Yarn Co. Well, I stopped at a lot of places, and there were amazing colors, so many beautiful colors everywhere. And the nice thing about Indie with the timed entrance is that you can actually get into booths and see things and talk to the people in the booths. So I really love that about it, compared to, say, Saturday at Rhinebeck, where you can't even get to a booth at all to look at something. However, you will see that my palette is very muted. Surprise! But I was looking for specific projects. So despite all the gorgeous colors, I was trying to keep myself fixed on what I really wanted, what I was really looking for, but it was gorgeous, gorgeous things there. I didn't buy any fiber. I regret one purchase not buying it, but I hadn't noticed some of it because I was looking at other things, you know. Anyway, I survived though. I'm still alive. I didn't buy any fiber and it didn't kill me. I'm still good. Anyway, back to this one. So Newburgh Yarn Co. This is their Corriedale Sport in the color Obsidian Howl. So I really wanted a good black. And I thought I was going to have to go for a commercial yarn because it's really hard to find a true black in a hand-dyed color. But this is gorgeous. This is their 2-ply woolen spun non-superwash Corriedale. I love Corriedale. So I did buy this for a specific project, and I'm going to look at my notes because I did note for myself what it was for, what I was looking for. I could use this either as the color work, the color work in a sweater I'm going to make with another yarn I purchased at Indie, or I can use it to hold with the sequin yarn I showed before to make my top to throw over my tank dress. I'll have to look at my notes of what I was thinking of for this one, but it's sport weight. I love it. And it also gives me a chance to try out their sport weight yarn for my other patterns that tend to use sport weight. Sport weight can be really hard to find in a good just solid color or tweed, and just in general sport weight. So we'll see what this one runs on. I would say it's before washing it, it looks like the heavy fingering sport, not the DK sport. So that'll work well, but we'll see how much it blooms with blocking. So we'll skip ahead. I'll come back to the other ones later. So to go possibly with this, I want to make the Alaska sweater for when I go to Alaska in whatever that is, 8-9 months. I was thinking of just making the Alaska hat, but I think I'll make the sweater. So I was looking for something similar to the pattern color because I really loved that pale dusk twilight color of a really light pale purple gray with the black trees silhouetted in front. I'm not going to use a tweedy yarn. I just wanted something similar to that color. And I wanted to stop by North Bay Fiber, so I did, and I found this colorway. They had a couple of different shades of purple, but I went for this one. I did ask them, I said, okay, I want a sweater, which one looks better? And everybody thought this one was best. Is their heavy DK light worsted weight, so it's a little bit heavier. I think the pattern calls for a DK, but I think this will work fine. It is woolen spun, non-superwash 2-ply, approximately 150 yards in 50 grams. So this is the color Thistle. It is 100% Targhee polypay wool, and it's got a lot of spring and bounce to it. So I think those will be my colors. If not, I'll use something else in that sweater. Okay. So this was my major purchase that day. And so with a couple other skeins, I was basically almost done at Indie with all of my shopping, at least items on my list. So that was great. So what else did I have? I wanted to stop and really look more closely at Red Stag Fiber. Last year, I did kind of breeze through there. I was late to IndieUntangled because of issues at the airport and a rental car. And so I didn't really have time because I also had to go to a second event. I really like going to only one event. I think it was much more relaxed because you can stay longer after that period of time, after your timed entry. You can stay as much as you want. So that was really nice to just hang out there for a while. So I got a skein of their colorway for this year, and their color is Autumn in New York, and it is on their cottage sock base, which is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. I think this is a light fingering, yes, at 463 yards per 100 grams. So these will probably be a nice pair of socks. Although now I'm looking at it, this could be really cool in a Zweig. Anyway, so I had no intention of getting the colorway. I don't normally get colorways. I almost bought 3 this year, the Festival of Colorways. I got 2. I'll show you the other one a little bit later. Then I wanted to try out they had sport weight yarn, and yes, the beautiful teal color. This is called Amore Firth. I love their deep saturated jewel tones. That is my happy place. This is their Polworth Massam base. It's on the Yorkshire Sport, which is 328 yards per 100 grams. And it's gorgeous. So I thought I'll just get one skein, try it out. And I've never worked with this combination, and see what I think of it for future projects. Again, I have a lot of projects that are sport weight yarns, and this one could probably go to the sport to light DK just by looking at it here. So I'm looking forward to making something with this or using this in a project. I believe that was it. Oh no, I also stopped by Camp Stitchwood, so let me grab that. There's gonna be lots of crinkling. There might be pausing so you don't have to hear the crinkle, because literally I just pulled this stuff out of my luggage. I haven't unpacked yet. Well, I've unpacked anyway. You don't need to know that. So I finally made it to, had a chance to look at Camp Stitchwood. Partly I wanted to look for stickers to go on the back of my phone, between my phone case and my phone, because I got a different phone and it's a different color than I'm used to. I have a hard time realizing, oh, that's my phone. And it just fits nicely in that little circle on my phone. So let me show you some of those that I got. So I got the one that says Castonitis. I'll have to put a picture up here because I'm using my phone right now. So stickers were on my list. And so I just picked up a couple. I got the Yarn Chicken, because that's definitely me. Procrastinator, yes, I am a procrastinator, and then also this one fits me perfectly. And then my By Craft Jewel sticker. And then I also thought, why not? I'll pick up some stitch markers. I actually had 2 packs of these, and then I glanced up at the prices and put one back to behave myself. Thought, oh no, I don't need all those stitch markers, but these are so cute because I love to camp and hike. So I thought those were adorable. So I'm very happy with those purchases. Let me put them back in my bag so I don't lose them. Just a minute, I'll be right back. So that was a great day, and then we went back to the house, hung out, got cozy, sat outside with the gorgeous views, did lots of knitting and laughing and talking, and it was great. I should say knitting and crocheting, because there are crocheters in the group too. I always feel like we say knitting and crocheting in the side. Knitting and crocheting. It's right up there next to knitting, not in parentheses. Let's give some props to our crocheters out there. Anyway, I'm loopy. So Saturday was the first day of the New York State Sheep and Wool Festival. So what did we do? We arrived, we walked into, where were we headed first? We headed first to stop to see Susie at Fiber MacGyver and go look at something else. So I didn't really plan to buy that day. I thought it would be too busy. I'm just going to look. But I wanted to get buttons as well. So Holland Hoof is right next to where Fiber MacGyver's setup was. So I stopped in there and got myself some buttons. Not necessarily for projects I currently have, but I wanted to get some buttons from there. I missed it last year. I don't know what happened last year to my brain. But I got buttons in colors and sizes I'm pretty sure I could use. So I do have some fingering weight or lightweight cardigans that are next up in my queue to make. And so I got these buttons here. I don't know what size. I haven't measured these. They were, some of the places had marks, but I'm not sure what all sizes. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But 9 buttons and ceramic buttons, and they're in this dark sort of teal color. So perfect for me. Got those. And then I also picked up these buttons because, again, my red, and they're quilting stars. And I do quilt. I do machine quilting, so I thought I would use that one. Is that the Missouri star? Might be. So I have some of these. That would be great. I think these are probably about 3/4 inches. And the other ones, I'm not sure what size, but I think these will be great for my Timely. Is it the Timely cardigan I have planned to make using yarns from last year's Rhinebeck as well, or Indie. Either way, from last year. So, buttons. I think that's it for the buttons. Okay, what did I do after that? I did look at Fiber MacGyver. I was taking a look for a very specific color that I purchased from her last year. I know the color is Raven. Again, I was looking for that black. I thought maybe I could find another skein to use, but I didn't see it. I planned to come back Sunday, and somehow I did not. So, Susie, I'll be shopping online because I forgot to look at the sock blanks. Oh, I did look for some DK sock yarn sock sets while I was going around because I'm doing a test knit for Nancy Wheeler. I won't show anything about it in this episode, but it's a toe up DK weight sock pattern. I am already started on it. I did start before I left, but just using some stash yarn, I thought, well, let's see if I can find something else while I was out. I didn't really find anything that was, I wanted something that was more solid colored in a DK sock set, and they were probably out there. It just may have been that it was so busy Saturday, I couldn't see past the people. So where do I go next? I think that was pretty much it for Saturday. Oh, my only other purchase is we went by Miss Babs, and near the end of our time there, so late in the afternoon, and they did have a few skeins of their colorway this year. So they always have two, I think they always, in the times I've been there, they've had two different colorways. And so I picked up one of them. They were getting ready to take some things down to save for the next day. Now they restocked Sunday, and they had lots of the colorways on different bases. I did purchase one from there last year in the light color. This time I got one in the darker, and somewhere I do have the label. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I did save it. So on the drive back to the house on Saturday, even though we left, I think about 2:30 or so, there was a lot of traffic. I think because the police weren't out doing traffic control. So somebody in the car wanted something to do, said, who needs yarn wound? So I just passed up my skein from Miss Babs. So I got the, it's on their Yet base, which is a heavy lace. I'd say it's that heavy lace to light fingering weight. And I got, it's on their color. Oh, it is up there. You can kind of see it. This colorway is called Catskill Hike for the color for this year. Here it is wound up in a beautiful, look at that ball. Look how they did. They used their knees and just wound a ball by hand in the car, and it's gorgeous. Those colorways. So if I hold it back here, of course, it's probably more accurate. So it is, how many yards do we have? Well, it's 400 yards per 62 grams. It's merino wool and tussa silk, a 65-35%. So probably some lace work with that. We'll see, but it's just beautiful. So I think it's just going to sit here looking beautiful for a while. Then you always get a little stitch marker with your purchase here. And I was looking for some of these, which I got from Miss Babs online a few years ago. I love these stitch markers, but they keep disappearing, right? Don't know where they've gone. I did get a whole packet of them, but whatever, you've seen them. Oh, on the floor. Anyway, so I got a bunch of them. They're silver this time. Oh yeah. So if you're looking for them when you're at the festival, they're up at the register. Just so you know, that's where they keep them. So I'll put that back here. Little colorways. All right, after that, that was it for Saturday. Although I wasn't expecting to purchase really anything, that was really good. We just enjoyed wandering around. Oh, I think there may have been another purchase. We went into the food barn. It's also where you go to vote on the art. Well, there's artwork that was voted on. Those are up and displayed. And then you vote on the logo for next year's festival. And then they also had some spinning demonstrations and other competitions going on. And congratulations, Olivia, on your placing in the competition. You know who you are I'm talking about. Let's see. That was it for Saturday. And then Sunday, I did do some shopping, but I didn't really have a lot in mind. Just a couple places to go to, and needed to get some jerky for my kids that I put in their stockings at Christmas. They like the elk and bison and wild boar, those kind of things. So that was my main plan on Sunday, just make sure I get that, go back and look at other things, look at the animals, just wander around with whoever was there, what plans we had. Oh, I didn't talk, Saturday, Podcaster Hill, it was teeming with ooey gooeys. They were like oozing along, it's called a hill, but it's a slope. So that was massive. So everybody else is kind of like shoved, I think, to the side because there were so many people. But I got to see so many good friends. The crew from the Woolly Thistle, it was great to see them as well. Olivia, saw Olivia there again. Some others I've missed, I was looking for, but your paths just don't cross. It's amazing. You think you would out there, but you just don't see people sometimes. And then met some new people. Oh, I met Jo, which is half of Twin Set in Pearl. So she was great to meet. I got a little sticker. I met people from Skein Yarn Shop, standing in line for the toilets, things like that. So that was great. Sunday, also roam around, see different people. Although Olivia, I saw you again, didn't I, on Sunday? We saw you there as well. But I don't think I'd purchased anything other than the jerky. And then on the way out, I had looked at several things, but again, didn't find the colors I was looking for. I wanted to make the cravat, and I've been trying to make it with yarns I have, but I just didn't like the colors for that project. For me, I knew I wouldn't wear it. So I really still wanted the sort of browns and cream natural colors, especially when I saw one of the women at the house we're staying with, she had it on. I thought, instead of looking for this other sweater, I should just look for yarns for that. So I did. Hadn't been finding it again. I wanted just the right browns in a sport weight yarn. And, I had all these particular things in mind. And so we were waiting to leave at the end of the day, waiting for our friends to catch up and just hanging out. And at the end where the animals are, so that entrance, if you know, there's the coffee at the building along there. And I thought, oh yeah, coffee, maybe I'll go for a coffee. So I started walking up towards the coffee and thought, I don't really feel like a coffee, never mind. And I turned around, and then that very last building, I know we'd been in on Saturday, but I couldn't remember. I was thinking that was at an animal barn, but it wasn't. It was next to the animals. So I thought, oh, let's just wander up there. So I did, and inside I thought, oh right, Junction Fiber Mill is in here. Again, we couldn't get really near Junction Fiber Mill, not into the booth. I did see their colorway. I almost got it, but I really need the Making Tracks light, the lighter weight. So I put it back. I resisted. So there were maybe 2 people in the booth. It was very quiet, and I thought, let's just have a look. And I peeked up, and I saw they had a sport weight base, and I saw a brown. And then they had a deal that if you bought 6 skeins of anything, you got 10% off. And so we did. And so I got their Roots Light, which is in the color Cedar. So these are, I believe, 50 gram. Hanks, where's the information? I didn't really look at it. So it's 200 yards sport weight, blend of American raised fine merino, targhee, and Corriedale wool. And so I got several of these for the cravat. And then they did have a light color. It was like a cream color, but I didn't want that sharp contrast. I was looking for something in between. So that kind of beigey range, but not so white natural. No, it wasn't white, if you know what I mean. So I just kind of looked around, and it was inside. I didn't look in natural light. I'm sure they would have let me take it to look in natural light, but I saw this beautiful blend, this mill blend light. It is their warm blend. And let me look on the other side. What does it say about it? 200 yards sport weight. So obviously it's a blend of whatever they had left in the mill. Look at those beautiful colors. I'll bring it up close so you can see the depth in there. So I thought maybe that might be enough contrast, I think. We'll see how it looks. I think so, to use, because there's not a lot of, it's not really color work, but contrasting color in there. I think it's a lot of texture. So I got one of those. And then just because it kept staring at me and I couldn't pick a color, and I probably already own a color like this, I got some of their Making Tracks light because I hadn't tried it yet. I've had the Making Tracks, but I wanted to try the light. This is in the color Alpenglow. This is Again, it's their blend of merino, targhee, and Corriedale, all American raised fine wools, 200 yards, sport weight again. So, right, this will make a beautiful colorwork sweater, or I might be able to hold it actually. Hang on a second. I was not afraid, but I kind of thought these colors remind me of the Hank of Spin Cycle that I won from the Lamb & Wool. They had on Instagram, they had a giveaway, and I won a skein of Spin Cycles. Which one is it? Dyed in the Wool. And I thought this might be the same, but that's okay. Because if it is, then I have two that I could work together, because one skein isn't really enough unless you're going to make a hat. So I thought, well, you know, you always need like 1.2 or something like that. But this is the one this is the one I won. So they're in similar colors, which look at that. They might actually be able to work together if they're not next to each other, or is it fade? We'll see, maybe. So, you know, when you like your colors, you like your colors, and it might just work out for you in the end. All right, so that was it from, I went for coffee and I came back with yarn. I came back and they were all looking at me, and so I said, I'm drinking it. I said, did you get coffee? I said, no, I got wool instead. So this is a bag of basically a sweater, which I'd love to cast on right now, but I also looked at my other yarns that, oh, I can't wait to cast that one on. So I definitely have cast-on-itis always after these events. But really this year for me, I wasn't really overly inspired by lots of things. I was just in the moment and loving being with everyone and being there, which is what I was looking for. And that's what I got completely. Oh, I got one more item. It was a gift. I got some little stitch stoppers. They're 2 shades of pink, but I don't have them out here. And I was gifted this bright color skein. I told you there was a pop of color in here. It's a Boucle Bliss, it's called. It's a DK weight. It's 240 yards of 100% superwash merino, hand dyed in Scottsdale, Arizona from Super Glow Fiber. So that's going to be fun. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet, but it's going to be fun. Maybe some mitts or something. I don't know what. So I told you there was a pop of color in there. This was gifted to me. So thank you very much for the gift. And yeah, so after that, what happened? So that was Sunday. So late Sunday afternoon, we're back at the house. Again, relaxing and knitting and crocheting and snacking, all the things. And then watching sports. I think we watched was that when the Blue Jays game was on? Game 6, I think it was. So that was very exciting in the house, watching that. Monday then we drove back to New Jersey and just hung out at the houses and relaxed. And then what did we do? That was Monday. No, I didn't just hang out at the houses. That was Tuesday. I've lost a day in there somewhere. So Monday, drove back to New Jersey, and then I was taken out to lunch. So I got to go have some seafood for lunch, watch an oyster boat. Was there oysters or clams? Anyway, one of those shellfish trawler come in, and so there's I'll show you some footage of that. Had some delicious lunch, and I was taken along the Jersey Shore to look at the houses, the neighborhoods. Got out at one point to get down to the water, look for sea glass or shells briefly, but it was very windy. You'll see it was very windy and kind of a blustery day on Monday. And then Tuesday, got to go have coffee with the ladies for a bit, and then it was off to the airport and smooth sailing on the airports on both sides. I'm so glad that wasn't an issue of any part. And again, thank you to the wonderful women who invited me in this year to stay with them, and for all the driving and hospitality and friendship. It just, it's so warming and filled me up. I was getting misty at the end, saying goodbye at the airport. So that was it for the week. Just a wonderful time, and so I'll have a regular episode probably next week. I can show you what I've actually finished on the trip, what I worked on. what I'm casting on, right? All the regular things, probably resuming next week. Right now, I am going to get back to work and do some shopping because apparently while I was away, right, things just didn't get purchased, food wasn't eaten, I don't know what. So back to life, right? So back to regular life. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my haul, and I'll put in some footage, just a little bit of footage that I happened to get during the week. And I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Take care. we're back. Let's go get them. Ba